what was your pro day like then?
It was very good. We had a lot of interest. All the team. We had every team represented here. Some head coaches here, and should have quite a few number of guys that go in the draft. I'm very happy for them next week.
Let's pound a table for them. Who do you got? Who do you think is going to make a great professional? Jimbo Fisher.
I think Kenyon Green right off the bat. I think the offensive lineman. I think Kenyon he's been a 3-year starter. I mean, he's a tremendous player who I just think has all the intangibles physically, but mentally and psychologically. He's an old school player. How he practices, how he works, and I think he'll go in the first round. I really do. I think he has a chance to play a long time, and he deserves it. I mean, he has been an outstanding player for us off the bat. DeMarvin Leal is another one who I think can go in the first round. If not, I think he'll definitely go in the second for sure. I mean, that depends. But he's a tackle, defensive end, 290-pound guy that can run, play, unbelievably productive for us, was a tremendous player. Basically, he started for 2.5 years. He started playing a lot in the middle of his freshman year, but both of them were 3 years and out. Both juniors that were in the same class were very highly ranked guys that I think are there. Michael Clemens, a big defensive end, who I think has a chance to be, who's really moving up the boards. He's long, physical, can play on the edge, man, plays with a motor, been a tremendous guy for us. Isaiah Spiller, our tailback, 3 years, basically 1,000 yards every year, over 3,000 yards in his career. Great out of the backfield, catching the ball, pass blocker, can run inside or out. I think has a chance to be a really, really outstanding player in that regard. I think Aaron Hansford's a linebacker who we moved from an offensive tight end guy to it was really an athletic kind of a push receiver tight end that's really grown into a 240-pound guy that can play inside or outside and rush, can cover. Athletic. Leon O'Neal's a safety who's played here for 4 years, started base for 2.5 years. It's a really good player for us. Jalen Wiedemeyer, tight end, I think is an outstanding guy that big and long and has had 3 productive years. Was a runner-up for the Mackey a couple years. So I mean that group right there, just from that group right there, I think you're going to get quite a few guys and have a chance to have really good pros.
Yeah, I got to tell you, out of everybody that you just mentioned, when I saw him at the Combine, Isaiah Spiller looked terrific. He really did,
Yeah, he does. Isaiah looks good. He produces. He's athletic. He's a team guy. He can do all the facets, and, I think can be a really good pro.
No, I mean, because you could see, how running backs and how wide receivers these days in the NFL are having more of an impact immediately. I mean, right after they come off of campus. Why would you, from your level, looking at the NFL, think that this is more of an advent these days?
Well, I think the ability up front. I think the game, because there is more athleticism and ability, and it's more in space. I think when you're talking about the guys who put their hand in the dirt, that's what I still think Kenyon, DeMarvin, and Michael will all be outstanding guys in that group. But I think just from the physical standpoint, I think you're and these guys are coming out early sometimes as 20-year-old guys, and all of a sudden you're playing against a 27-year-old grown man up front. I think there's a big physical adjustment that can happen. But I think those guys will all make it very clearly. But I think the skill guys, it's more about their skill, their speed, their athleticism than it is sometimes the power, and it's all combined. But I think it's that way in college too. When you go from high school to pro, the skill guys seem to have an easier jump than the guys who put their hand in the dirt, just from the physical standpoint of the game.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.